This video is intended to describe a lightblade talisman named Communion. As a quick preface, it's a very heavy 5th chakra induction focus frequency device that will of course be notarized upon this crystalline tour, as well as all other components in the composition. So I will go ahead and discuss the aspect of the primary blade band, but as a preface before I do so, this particular talisman has been constructed to honor the archetypal name of Communion, which is the implication of communing with the sacred one-leggeds, the sacred winged ones, the sacred four-leggeds, and even the wonderful two-leggeds. Just to be a very powerful, intensive 5th chakra focused frequency as the dominant vibration, with many subtle subroutine crystalline allies to round out the entire operating system of this closed loop circuit vibratory production device. Okay, so I will go ahead and discuss the primary blade band scaffolding that gives reference to the entire energy current that will run in what vaguely resembles a figure 8 of perpetual momentum to recirculate the energy in a closed loop circuit. And so the aspect of why turquoise has been employed for communion is due to the aspect of it being an impeccable 5th chakra stimulant in the mineral kingdom that is very well notarized in humanity, is a stone that has been a crystal, or yes, a stone, has been a favorite of millions for thousands of years for a very good reason. Besides its natural beautiful attraction to the eye, there is also a very prominent metaphysical purpose to it being such a well-cherished stone in humanity's history. So, the primary blade banding started right here, starts off with clear quartz seen right there to be a neutral subcapacitator to intensify the ignition sequence of the energy running in this perpetual blade band. Hence, that's why I call them a light blade, is to the aspect of it being on a bladed structure to recirculate the energy. So the clear quartz serves as a wonderful neutral accelerant or a subcapacitator to the primary turquoise focus. As well as clear quartz, of course, can be naturally in tune with one's higher self-resonance running through the frequency, which makes it essentially consciousness-assisted technology in that capacity to be in resonance with the recipient's highest dharmic auric field configuration, so to speak. So it has a very powerful aspect, too, of running intention to run the intentional energy of the recipient through the structure to have a very reactive platform. Okay, that's enough digression on clear quartz. I'll get straight into turquoise. Turquoise is a very amazing 5th chakra focus frequency with the aspects of earth, fire, water, and wind. Hence, it is considered a stone of wholeness and an ancient grandfather ally to many First Nation tribes, as well as great notoriety across the pond, with it being mostly named after Turkey, turquoise, as well as heavy utilization in the ancient Egyptian mystery schools. It has great notoriety of being a stone of wholeness and magic and abundance in its own right too. It has many legends over thousands of years. Its utilization is pretty vast, with the incorporation of turquoise mounted into Mongolian war bridles, the parts of the horse's kit that was utilized for their warfare, as a talisman of very good luck not to fall off their horse and luck in battle. So it has a great amount of legend attached to it for a good reason. With the aspect of it being a wholeness of the 4 elements focused through the 5th chakra, that is a stone of harmony, wholeness, and one's highest truth, which in theory, the purpose of communion is to put one in a very powerful receptive state to commune with aspects of nature and creation at large. That at least has the big idea of why this primary blade band is of the turquoise spectrum. So, I think I've talked about turquoise enough at this point, but it's a very fantastic stone that, of course, has great notoriety in the utilization of shamans, medicine men, medicine women. It's quite the legendary frequency to have on an exaggerated overture of a closed-loop circuit in its own right. So, continuing the blade band, which will, of course, be the governance of the energy running through a closed-loop circuit, goes into the transmutation ratio. This ratio consists of smoky quartz to be a tremendous ground roll negativity through the base chakra, into the earth stars, and into the earth meridian matrix for reprocessing as a constant grounding, two-way reprocessing to transmute negativity and positivity by connecting to Mother Earth consistently for a discharge and renewal of energy. Then in conjunction with that would be hematite, an iron-based fantastic grounder of energy to pull all stray energies through the root and once again into the Earth stars, into the Earth meridian matrix for processing. So that is why the conjunction of smoky quartz and hematite have been well utilized as the transmutation ratio for this purpose, as well as it being a lovely, as a joke I refer to quite often, etheric Teflon generator, so ensure that negativity internally, externally has no way to stick to the field as it runs through and completes its circuit in a very rapid fashion. It also serves as a fantastic grounding and tangibilization agent to the rest of the exotic frequencies composition seen here, yet to be mentioned. So of course this is a rather complex rendition of a lightblade talisman with many different variables, but the most important aspect is that the transmutation ratio also serves as a fantastic grounding backbone to ensure the magical intention design actually gains roots into tangibility by actually grounding the excess energy into Mother Earth to make the magic real, which is always the prerogative of any given device that passes through my hands for distribution, is to actually have tangibility at the heart of the construct. So at the very apex band right here is a rendition of the, once again, hematite to be the apex energy as it runs its circuit to ground the excess energy at the top, which of course is the tangibility making stuff. Then clear quartz right here as a neutral subcapacitator, just like this right here, makes a very neutral ambient charge of the entire construct, which of course can hold programs and intentions of the wielder of their medicine very successfully and then run their intention through the circuit as well. It's a very complex topic, but I will mitigate my digressions to stay on topic. And so at the very top right here, I guess I'll start with this guy, which can be considered one of the main hearts or engines of the construct, is the lovely, fantastic golden healer quartz at the apex, where this will be where the leather will be installed after this video is notarized to, of course, be worn on the person like so. So the golden healer quartz plays a critical role to be an impeccable gold white light, high heart, source, creator energy alignment, which of course will run through the entire circuitry of this device. And so as a preface there, all these other stones yet to be mentioned, of course, are on one terminated circuit, which means they all vibrate in tandem like organs of an entity right here that generate vibrational compound interest of a closed loop field meant to be worn on a person for a powerful vibratory augmentation energy emanation that is aligned to one's spirit highest self Godhead, which will make more sense as the notorieties of the composition come into full notoriety. Okay, I think that's enough digression of the blade bands. Like I mentioned, turquoise with clear quartz running into transmutation on this lateral band, running up the sides, this lateral band, then over here to this lateral band, then down to the side, then the apex band, which vaguely resembles a figure 8 to have perpetual recirculated energy momentum as the scaffolding of the entire energy construct completes its circuit for all the other exotic frequencies yet to be mentioned. So I'll go ahead and start with the Blu-ray side. Since it's a heavy device of communion, it has a very heavy 5th chakra stabilization, intensification, and soothing capacity to be complementary to the primary directive of the turquoise. So at the very apex, though, I will talk about this first, as a pretty important, relevant aspect to the device, is the incorporation of fulgurite. This is petrified lightning caught in sand, so it literally carries the energy of lightning into a lightning strike into sand to carry that emanation of petrified lightning, which makes it quite potent stuff by itself, because it literally is the energy of lightning caught in the bottle. So fulgurite by itself was a fantastically utilized crystal stone ally to First Nation shamans for the intention of intensifying with power of lightning back to their prayers back to spirit and creator to, of course, assist as medicine in their endeavors as medicine people to serve the people and help the tribe. So its notarization of a powerful stone of magic is very well utilized, but then of course running a wire around it and grounding it into a termination sequence also has, of course, intensive consequences to the entire energy platform. The fulgurite by itself is a very powerful force of lightning full light body activator of great intensity in the mineral kingdom, which stimulates the entire chakra column from the soul star to the earth star to really intensify that lightning fast energy throughout the entire energy meridian matrix, which is very stimulating and also very intensive for focusing energy of manifestation by that lightning power running through the system. But as a preface, it's very well soothed, stabilized, and governed and grounded to get the most out of it without having any of the lightning energy sensations. So it's a very well governed aspect of this potent frequency is the aspect of how it runs through the entire transmutation ratio, runs through the buffer of the fifth chakra filter, and has many stabilizers which will go further into description in the video as a preface to, of course, get the most out of this while making it as comfortable as possible and stabilize the energy output of a dramatic power of lightning that will naturally be a very powerful dharmic accelerant to put one in their highest truth as a consistent background frequency, to commune with the emanations of nature and creation in general. So, right there, as the first contingency I'll mention, but after the Fulgurite dissertation, is the aspect also of blue lace agate being a water elemental fifth chakra stabilizer. So the aspects of utilizing jasper and agate are of the most stable vibrations of the respected elemental correspondences in the mineral kingdom. But the aspect of having the blue lace agate in prominence, where this will not be concealed, it will always be exposed for the rest of its life, as it lives happily ever after with its recipient, to have a stabilization, most importantly, of the fifth chakra, to be stable in the stimulation of this much fifth chakra truth induction stimulation, which plays a very important role. So of course it's very helpful in practical matters to have a stable voice internally, externally, as one communes with oneself as well as that of nature in all capacities. Then, to be another complementary stimulant to the blue ray fifth chakra focus is the lovely famous lapis lazuli. Just like turquoise, it's a favorite of millions for thousands of years with great notoriety of magic and utilization in the adepts and the priests and priestesses of the Egyptian mystery schools of being a stone of Isis, which has great notoriety, of course, in the human morphic field as a stone of magic, which is a nice wind elemental fifth and sixth chakra stimulant to be completely in tune with the third eye in that capacity, with one's truth, to be in the sovereignty to, of course, commune from the highest perspective. Then above that, a more recent amazing find in the mineral kingdom is the lovely larimar. Larimar is a fantastic fifth and sixth chakra stimulant consisting of the water and fire elemental spectrums, which brings great balance. So it's a very calming, soothing, and peaceful emanation of highest truth. Very much a stone of the goddess. And there's a lot of legends surrounding it right now, which I will omit to condense this dissertation, but larimar in application with everything else here is very complementary for the high-yield blue ray focus to be in the disposition of impeccable fifth chakra by design, to, of course, commune with the sacred one-leggeds, like I said, and the emanations of creation. That is the prerogative of the recipient. Okay, so I will go ahead and I will omit these selenite pieces with kyanite at the core of the device till the end as a capstone. Then right here, this is more of a golder emanation side with a little bit of green ray impeccability right here. So starting off on this side of the blade face is citrine. Citrine's a fantastic yellow ray, sunny, fun energy stimulant that's very nice for physical energy levels, as well as blessing one's endeavors of going on hikes, for example, and gives one energy. And is just a general yellow gold ray solar plexus brightener of the energy field that will, of course, go great in tandem with the famous and legendary, actually not famous, thank goodness, or sadly enough, legendary, I should say, Libyan gold tektite right here. Libyan gold tektite was a stone utilized by the pharaohic caste of ancient Egypt to be carved into a scarab beetle, and is found in a remote section of Libyan desert that was just utilized back in the pharaohic days as a stone of Ra, Osiris, or Horus in that capacity, as being a very powerful gold ray powerhouse. So the aspect, this is also a space glass or space rock. Scientific jury is still out on its origin, actually, as it gives great mystery, but Why that's relevant is that it has a tektite space obsidian kind of energy of the golden ray. So this, just like citrine, has a very powerful solar plexus stimulation, yet Libyan gold tektite is a fire energy, sacrum and solar plexus stimulant with storm overtones, unrivaled in the mineral kingdom of that particular frequency of the sunny solar energy, which is a very powerful manifestation agent, as well as a very powerful psychic shield generator of one's will to intensify their reserves. Very useful for the aspect also of having the physical intensive energy of going for hikes, which is the recipient's joy, to be able to commune with nature on hikes. So that's a heavy augmentation to just keep things very sunny, very vibrant as the rest of the circuitry runs its course. Then above here is an amazing green ray frequency called seraphinite, named after the seraphim archangels, and is perhaps one of my top 5 favorite stones, which is quite something to say when I'm such a tremendous rockhound nerd, where I'm obsessed. My life's work is crystalline outputs, and so there's a good reason for that. Having the natural seraphic green ray energy makes a lovely heart chakra stimulation, naturally by its designation of correspondence with the green ray heart chakra. But the aspect also of seraphinite is it imbues the entire auric field with healing seraphic energy from top to bottom, which makes a nice cellular respiration of impeccable energy output. So what that means too is that any impediments manifesting as a dis-ease, that would be anywhere in the chakra column from top to bottom, vice versa, get rapidly, gently dismantled to basically dismantle any impediments of a naturally healthy functional field to its factory dharmic blueprint, so to speak, back to their divine connection with seraphic imbuement, which of course has a heavy connotation of being an energy alignment of the seraphic realm of the Michael, Uriel, Gabriel, and Raphael forces, for example, just as a big 4 reference, which is, as a light worker, in my humble opinion, that kind of natural ambient connection, making a physical contact patch in reality, is really tremendously advantageous. And I'll leave it at that. Okay, so this section right here, this is where the hood will eventually be installed. So this buckskin, once this video is concluded, will be cut to proper size, but as a quick little preface right now, this kind of gives a slight preview of what the finished construct will indeed look more like for a purpose. So the aspect of the hood serves many purposes as one way to insulate and condense the energy of this entire hood section running from top to bottom. B, be a way to protect all the subtle stones seen in this entire circuitry center that's of great complexity. Then C, also be a fantastic color therapy resonance of like the buckskin energy that gives it a very powerful First Nation homage appearance, which is an aspect of this design too, is to honor that aspect of the way of medicine, which was First Nation magic. And so that gives a very powerful First Nation homage, honoring, obviously, in the color choice, as well as being a lovely brownish earth bandwidth tone to have a very Mother Gaia compatible resonance. And I guess D, I guess last and maybe least, is also the aesthetic completion of the construct to look more finished and aesthetically pleasing, which is, I guess, on my priorities. It's there. It has many purposes, but it's not made for looks, it's made for practical magic, so that's kind of just a little fun thing to say. Okay, so now getting into the engine section, which will be concealed by the leather now. Starting off with black tektite. Black tektite's a very powerful space obsidian that is black ray, space rock, basically like space glass from a meteor vaporizing sand, that has a very lovely full light body chakra stimulation from the earth or stars up, which gives it a nice full light body kundalini activation, as well as a very nice vibrational increaser, but luckily from the ground up perspective to have very much a further in the body experience of vibrational flux increase tangibility. So that's a staple in all light tech just about, just to have a nice cosmic boost to intensify the strengthening of the natural vibratory field, luckily from the ground up as a contingency to make the magic further real in that capacity also. Then next to that is the lovely Shungite. Shungite is a black-gray stone quite in vogue right now of carbon-based resonance, notarized for its excessive utilization to mitigate any harmful EMF energies from cell phones, things of that nature, and harmful waves that can hurt our subtle DNA. So that's a nice little piece of shungite just to have a little bit. So like I've mentioned before, any small frequency in a closed loop wired circuit will of course ping off each other to make vibrational compound interest. So even a small dose of something goes a long way in its perpetual momentum sequence. Then right here is red jasper. So this is where I'll probably discuss the jaspers and agates in one shot to have full comprehensive notoriety of their critical function in a talisman format to bring stability to the construct. So red jasper is a well-utilized red ray root chakra stimulant, virtually unsurpassed in the Middle Kingdom to stabilize the root energy of Earth, which is very useful to have a strong stabilized scaffolding foundation for anybody in the universe, pretty much. Then right here is the fire energy stabilizer of fire agate. Fire agate stabilizes the base, the sacrum, and the solar plexus, unsurpassed mineral kingdom of fire energy. Then, like I mentioned right here, this would be a water stabilizer of the fifth chakra of blue lace agate to stabilize the water from the fifth perspective. Then next to, in between these guys right here is moss green agate, which is a green ray stabilizer of the heart chakra. Then over here is grape agate, which is a purple agate, which stabilizes the 6th and 7th chakras, which would be the wind element. So the aspect of having longevity of stabilization of earth, fire, water, and wind has been represented in crystalline structure, which is very advantageous for a stabilized directions of the four directions, of course. Yeah, naturally. It's so that's the aspect there. Also, that brings stability to the entire overture of the energy as it resonates with the auric field to stabilize the earth, fire, water, and wind to be in perpetual equilibrium and, most importantly, harmony, which is obviously a prerequisite to intensify and enhance the natural communing aspect with the harmony of Mother Nature. Then right here is tiger's eye. Tiger's eye is a fantastic stimulant of the solar plexus, sacrum, and base chakras. It makes a very dramatic alignment of the lower three, which is a great stone of equilibrium and harmony in its own right. To have a very strong, stabilized, aligned lower three chakras is, of course, is also going to be very advantageous for the purposes of physical energy while going on hikes, which is, of course, like the prerogative of the recipient. Then down here, a small little dose of scolecite. Scolecite's a fantastic white ray stone of divinity of higher mind consciousness that makes a lovely soothing stimulation of the 6th and 7th chakras, which encourages a very powerful inner dialogue, peaceful landscape that would be very much an assistance to that goal of communing with the aspects of nature and creation itself. Okay, then right here from my lovely backyard is a piece of Shasta serpentine, literally from actually over there in a riverbed. Serpentine is a very fantastic Kundalini serpentine stimulant, actually. It has a nice full cellular respiration emanation, as well as it being a Mount Shasta local frequency, is very well utilized for that purpose. See here, okay, then this guy right here is of the essence as well for a successful light tech platform. This right here is star argonite. Star argonite is a calcium-based light body activator that actually stimulates the entire chakra column from the feet to the head and everything in between with great potency, yet very soothing capacity. Since it's a calcium-based frequency, it makes a great clearing of anything that would be impeding a natural healthy flow of a light body from top to bottom. That's why it works great in tandem with seraphinite, because they basically run the same kind of pathway energy path, just like the transmutation ratio, to accomplish the same goal. So naturally, when the two are augmented together, seraphinite and star argonite, they make a great vibrational compound interest clearing capacity to discharge with great grace and soothing capacity any impediments light body from top to bottom as a master healer in their own rights. Then together, of course, they are much more potent in sequence. And that would be the crystalline ignition order, mostly discussed at this point. So, the core of the device of communion is actually oak from my backyard. Can't see. Oh, there you go. You can see in between these two trees right here, perhaps. That's the home tree. So oak is a very fantastic legendary wood of legend as well, being a wood of heroes and kings and gods, and for a good reason, because oak has such a strong, dense atomical grain, so the oscillation of the wood of oak is very strong and dense, which encourages a very strengthening energy, particularly the root chakra in connection to the earth. So the oak right here plays a critical role to be the core emanation of this entire device, to, of course, bring the further tangibility of the bandwidth of the energy into resonance with Mother Earth. Then, last but not least, I oftentimes will say this intentionally because it's quite the mouthful at the end, as well as it's a nice little summary or cherry on top or capstone to the pyramid, would be the selenite. There's two pieces of white selenite perfectly adhered to the wooden core inside this light blade face cluster, seen right here, selenite and selenite. Selenite's a very fantastic 6th and 7th chakra stimulant, also 8th, and all the non-physical chakras back to the Godhead or one's highest self template, which makes, of course, a very powerful two-way connection to the highest self, intangibility with the conscious self, as well as being a fantastic clear of negativity from the entire auric field. Of any kind of stagnancies of darkness get rapidly dispelled under the influence of selenite by itself. So that's why this is quite critical and staple. And one of the best parts about selenite utilization in light tech is the capacity to take all these frequencies mentioned thus far in nearly half an hour. It can, running through the current, purify all of these frequencies running in the circuit. It can harmonize all of these frequencies into a cohesive whole, then amplify all these frequencies. So when you try the trifecta of the purification of communion, all the crystals mentioned thus far in the ignition sequence, then the harmonization of all these frequencies, then the amplifications, that makes for a truly triumphant trinity of beneficence for the construct as a whole. Then the aspect of the kyanites wrapped directly to the selenite is to increase the transference of this energy through the entire auric field. So the aspect of black kyanite, orange kyanite, green kyanite, and blue kyanite play a critical role in the transferability to, of course, further make the magic real and tangible. So black kyanite, seen right here, is a very powerful rapid bridger of energy through the root chakra into the earth stars, into the earth for reprocessing at a very rapid rate. So kyanites in general are the fastest transference energy crystals in the mineral kingdom. Hence, their utilization in light tech is of the essence to, of course, bring the transferability into tangible scope and scale for real magic. To make real is the root word of magic. That is an aspect right there. So black kyanite rapidly bridges the energy of the earth. So the aspects of kyanite on a conscious entity device seen right here that's been developed also brings great reactivity of the sentience of this device into the needs and the harmony of the recipient. So the kyanites always will work to bring the optimal harmonized pitch of the ideal energy centers at a very consistent reactive rate to very much give it, I guess, gives it a lot more like life to do things. It's kind of a funny way to put it, but it is true in that capacity. Of the black kyanite bridging the energy through the earth, kind of like a surge protector, also to ensure the contact patch of energy always gets into the earth for A, like comfortability, B, tangibility, and just, good old grounded Mother Nature. Then orange kyanite rapidly stimulates the sacrum to the highest factory dharmic blueprint of creativity and great aid in manifestation. Then green kyanite is very essential for the heart-centered communing with nature as well, to rapidly bridge energies internally, externally, with the field of this communion structure to have a very strong resonant transference. Then blue kyanite is essential for the 6th chakra, third eye, neural pathway centers to be optimized to a high state of communion as well, to essentially, like all the kyanites mentioned thus far, build bridges of light through the system that would be of the ideal dharmic factory blueprint configuration, basically to work to, to say this delicately, amend any imprintation aspects of societal beliefs, core wounds, things of that nature, to put one in their highest perception as a human in that capacity, as a design at least. Okay, so I believe that is the entirety of the crystalline structure of communion discussed in great notoriety at this point. So as a summary, this complicated talisman has been developed to be a very powerful enhancement to be worn when hiking to commune with the wonders of Mother Gaia, that is nature, and to just have an impeccably complex light body generator that can be worn on the person, to be relatively non-invasive, to be just a passive energy generator that will of course run in tandem with the spiritual essence of the recipient's higher self, as it makes a two-way broadcast, to work as an electromagnetic interference inhibitor, to keep one in their sovereign truth as they commune with nature in that capacity, hence communion. Okay, well, I pray that everybody has a fantastic day and that your communications go great today. Aho matakiasi.